Two Wheels this week, a ride on Ducati's red hot 748, and some of the bits that you really weren't meant to see, the two-wheel cock-ups. But first it's down to the West Country to join some bikers on a charity mission. Well, we're in Bristol today, a beautiful sunny Sunday morning, and behind me this car park is fast filling up with all sorts of different bikes and different people, and they've all come here for an organised ride out. But not your regular let's go for a thrash on a Sunday morning, none of that. This is an organised ride out, and all these people have given their time and their money in aid of a very good cause. So Barry Maunders, you're the instigator,
Yep.
Organiser of this. Tell us why we're here
Instigator.
then. Instigator.
Instigator.
Right.
Instigator.
So what we're doing here, Barry?
It's a charity run. It's not a registered run, not registered with any charity because it's for an individual.
Right.
Young little Thomas
Yeah.
suffers from cerebral palsy, and it was just a brainwave of ours to get a large group of people together to do a run on motorcycles to get some money for the chap.
Right. So how does a load of bikers going out for a run raise money? How do you generate the money?
Right, we've generated through our own magazine a registration form,
Right.
which people make a donation. They register on the event, either before the event or during the event, and at least a large quantity of that donation then goes to Thomas.
Right. So what do? Do we all go? I know we go out for a run. What happens then? We're going to a particular place, though, aren't
Yes, we're going to the Huntingford Mill in Charfield, Gloucester.
we? Right.
It's going to be Gloucester.
That's where Dr. Forster comes from, isn't it? Gloucester.
Years ago.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be going to there. There's going to be live music. There's going to be a raffle, auction, different
Alright.
things, barbecue, hog roast,
Excellent.
and just a bit of a knees up for everybody who's turning up on bikes.
Good stuff. So plenty more to come. So what's the response been like? Has it been difficult to get people involved?
It's been difficult because of the British weather. You don't
Aye.
know what Sunday's going to be like, whether
Yeah.
it's going to snow or
Yeah.
what have you. So it's been good. Registrations have been coming through. Well, donations have been coming through very, very good. If we get anything up to sort of like 200, 300, 400 people on the day, be more than happy.
Right.
More than happy.
Well, it's looking good up to now. It's going to be good. I mean, we're I don't know. We're probably over 100 up to now, and it's early yet.
That's
so
right.
Fingers crossed.
Hope so.
Good stuff.
I hope so.
Now this is Phil Davis, tour leader, cavalcade frontman, and the man with the map. So
Yeah, so hopefully I know where I'm going then.
I'm just
do I?
gonna- where are you going to take us today then, Phil?
Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to take the A420. I don't know if you can see this one here, up to Pennsylvania. Now we've got a big group today. Pennsylvania.
Have you got a Pennsylvania?
Yeah,
have you?
in England. Yeah, in Bristol.
Well,
Or
I see.
close
You
to.
learn something
Close
every
to.
day. I
That's right.
Yeah,
We've got a big group today, so it's going to be very difficult to keep all these people together.
Right.
So what we're going to have to do is try and keep the pace down, have a nice steady ride.
Right.
We've got a paramedic with us. Hopefully we won't need that guy, but he knows the tour as well. So we've got someone else who can tag along and perhaps pick up the people from behind.
Right. So how
Okay.
long? That's a very big long line you've got on this map. How long is it going to take us? This?
I would imagine that's going to take us about an hour,
Yeah?
maybe an hour and a half. Steady
it's not so bad.
riding. It's nice, long, open, safe
Right.
roads. So we're going to be nice and clear, hopefully all the way up through.
But we've got a right mixture of bikes here. We've got
Yeah.
top red hot sports bikes and some, well, not so fast bikes, shall we say? So what do? Got the pace of the slowest, presumably.
Yeah, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead from the front and I'll be keeping the speed down a bit.
Right.
You
Well,
know.
we've not got a police escort, have we?
Not at all.
Right.
No. So it's all in my hands, I'm afraid, today.
So it's abide by all the traffic lights, abide by all the speed regulations.
That's right. Try
Right.
and keep everything nice and steady.
Right.
And hopefully no one's going to go shooting by me and think they know what they're doing and
Right.
away they go and find their own way type of thing.
Right.
So they'll probably end up lost. But,
All right.
it is a very straightforward route.
Okay.
From the A420 straight up the A46, up through Old Sodbury, into Nailsworth, up into the big city of Stroud there.
All right.
Skip through the outskirts of Stroud, cross through Stonehouse, up to the A38, all the way back down and back basically into wherever we're going.
That means absolutely nothing to me.
No.
I'll follow you.
All right then.
And so, with everyone in their best well-ventilated leathers, we were off into the blazing sunshine for a run which would take us along some fantastic roads and through some quaint country towns. The problem with such a lot of bikes is keeping the run together. It only takes a couple of sets of traffic lights and the odd busy junction to spread things out over several miles. We had just about every type of bike you can think of, and the excellent weather had encouraged quite a few pillion riders to take the trip. The majority though did manage to stay fairly well together, and there's nothing that turns more heads in a quiet town than a long line of motorcycles snaking its way through narrow twisty streets. And so eventually, after just under 50 miles, which had taken us about 1 hour and 20 minutes, we arrived at our destination. Well, that's it, that's the run over. We've made it to this fantastic place. I don't know where on earth it is. I've been using that 1200 Triumph Trophy. Great bike, dead comfy and really fast as well. I don't know where on earth I am, but it's a lovely place, and all the sensible people are now taking their leathers off and putting the shorts on and the t-shirts, and no, I haven't brought me shorts with me, so sweaty legs today, I'm afraid. But it's loads of things going on here, and all in a good cause. This very, very busy day. There's a raffle in a bit with the first prize, it says here, is a moped. Sorry, it's a mop head, but it's a good prize anyway. There's an auction of all motorcycle bits and pieces, and to me this is what biking's all about. Loads of people here that have never met each other before, and they're all instantly best of friends, great camaraderie, and all doing some good. Fantastic advert for biking. And there's a pop group setting up just over there at the moment. I'm looking forward to that. They sound very good. They're called Seth and the Symbolics. The drummer's called Seth, the bass player's called Sim, and the guitarist is called Bert. So they should be a good band. Looking forward to a smashing day.
It's only 15 pounds. 2.
Well, we're all here today to raise some funds for little Thomas Ainsworth, and this is Thomas's mum, Louise. So, Louise, tell me about Thomas. What's the problem?
Thomas has got cerebral palsy, and it affects both his legs and his right arm. And his right side is the real problem, really.
Right. And he has to go a long way for treatment, I understand.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, we've taken him to the Petter Institute in Budapest 3 times now, for 8 weeks. 8 weeks at a time.
Yeah, so pretty intensive and very expensive as well.
Yes.
Yeah, right. But I understand this is a fundraising thing, but this isn't the first thing that bikers have done for Thomas, is it?
No, the Bristol Triumph motorcycle owners have before now done a bike run in aid of Thomas last year.
Okay, and you've lots of other charity fundraising events all over the place.
Yes.
I understand you have wine tasting.
We have had a wine tasting, which was very, very successful.
I bet it was. I'd like an invite to that next time, please. Well, you see, you can always rely on bikers, especially on a sunny day, to turn out, and I'm sure they must have raised a fortune here today.
I think we have, yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, this is our host here today at the Huntingford Mill, Tank, called Tank for pretty obvious reasons.
Tank James, that's me.
Yeah, right, a biker.
I play bikers.
Ex-biker. But I've heard a story that you're actually a very famous person, film star even.
Yes, I've
bike-related film star.
Yes, I do. I play lots of biker parts, as you can see. I'm sort of a biker image.
Right. Well, go on. Give us. Will we know any of these famous parts that you've done?
Well, I played a famous cigar advert back about 8 years ago. I've done some insurance adverts and some fairly well-known beer adverts as bikers.
Right. So what were you in the cigar advert? What did you play?
A mean, lean fighting machine, Hell's Angel, slightly upset, you know.
Oh, right, I see.
Because this chap in one of them three-wheeler yellow cars that one can't mention knocked over 100 of our bikes parked in the car park, you know.
So did you beat him up?
I smashed him up with my bumper car, actually.
Excellent, right. So have you been in any famous films that we know about?
Well, I've done sort of Paper Mask.
Yeah.
I had a part in Paper Mask. I've done quite a lot of BBC stuff. Right. Commercials is basically what I enjoy doing.
Right, very good.
Here and abroad.
A professional biker, no doubt. So this is your thing now, running this place. Biker-friendly pub, is that the idea?
Well, at the Huntingford Mill, we are a biker-friendly zone.
Right.
You know, we don't look at bikes and go moron. It's leather fighting machines, lovely machines, and people aren't, on two wheels now because they can't afford four.
No.
Because some two-wheel bikes are a lot more expensive now than the four.
Absolutely. Oh, no, but they're luxury item bikes to a lot of people now.
Well, you can go in and look like a city gent for £5 in Oxfam, but you can't look like a real biker for £5 out of Oxfam nowadays.
No, you can't. No, it's a lot of money.
You spend a lot of money now for your levers.
That's right. You've got a restaurant here at this place, and you've got a big menu. Tell me about these things on your menu.
Well, it's a big old place. You know, it was built in 1608, and it's been a restaurant now for about 30 years.
Wow, man.
And it's been specialising in the big steaks. We do ribeyes, we do big 32-ounce rump, and we even do a belly buster, 64-ounce.
64 ounce?
That's why they call me Tank.
Are you the chief taster? Do you have to go through them all?
No, the wife cooks them. I just move them out when they can't walk. You've heard it walk this way, but they often do after a 64.
So are you still riding bikes then?
Yes, I still ride bikes.
But only professionally, is it?
Professionally, I'm afraid. I haven't found a trike large enough for me yet.
Well, Barry, you've done it. Fantastic turnout. You must be very pleased.
Over the moon.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. All the branches have turned up. Nottingham, Northampton, Cannock, Stoke, Warrington, Bristol.
See, I didn't know this. When we left Bristol, obviously, this morning, and I thought, this is it. It was quite impressive, but I thought,
you've got to keep a few surprises.
And then all these other blooming lots started turning up, and I wondered what was going on. So they've come from all over the country,
All over the country.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any idea on numbers? A guesstimate?
Guesstimate, 200, 300, 400.
Yeah?
Something like that.
Fantastic, it's good. And any idea, I know it's early days yet, because all the monies aren't in, but rough idea of what's been raised?
Yeah, well, we've still got to count the auction money, but it's going to be well over £1,000.
Wow.
Just for basically an afternoon-ish type.
Yeah, and a great day in the sunshine with some. I must say, your scenery around here is superb. You've got some good biking roads.
Yeah, so you told me earlier.
Yeah. The trouble is they're all full of cars. That's the problem.
That's right.
But you know what you want to get involved in? I was talking to Thomas's mum, Louise, earlier, and she says they have fundraising wine tasting sessions. So why don't I get an invite to that?
You could do, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right up my
Top of the
street.
list. Top of the list.
So what's next then, Barry? Where do we go from here?
Next year.
Yeah.
Next year, definitely. If Thomas needs it, we'll do it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What can we say? Rely on bikers, every time.
Undoubtedly. All the time.
And coming up after the break, a ride on Ducati's Red Hot 748. And some fun and laughter as we dip into the two-wheeled cock-up archives. Many people would say that the world's sexiest bike is a shiny red Ducati 916, but they're not particularly cheap. There is, however, a slightly cheaper alternative, a shiny red Ducati 748. 748 cc's of V-twin motor, delivering 97 brake horsepowers of grunt. The engine feels quite different from a 916. It's much more revvy, but it's still got tons of low-down power to shoot you out of a corner or catapult you away from a junction at an incredible rate. It doesn't look half bad either, does it? And you know, from just a few feet away, I reckon you'd be hard pushed to tell the difference between this and a 916. And that's because they share the same geometry, they've got the same suspension, and it is actually the same overall dimensions. Now up at the front here, a very neat, very compact dashboard, nothing fancy, with a green rev counter. I don't know why it's green, but well, I suppose it's different. Further back here, steering damper fitted as standard, quite useful, more use on a racetrack. Well, we're talking about racetracks. For people who like messing with the setup of the bike, here we've got the facility to actually alter the steering head angle. Very, very trick. And you may notice a lack of an ignition barrel there. That's where the key would normally go. But on a Ducati, it goes down there at the front of the tank, which is fine if you've only got one or maybe two keys on your key ring. But if you carry your bike key on a bunch of keys and you keep putting it in there and turning it, and this part of the tank really is going to get scratched to hell. And talking of scratching is what the 748 is all about. Ride it through busy traffic where you're stopping every few yards and you'll absolutely hate it. The seat is hard and the foot pegs are high. Bikes like this are not built for comfort. They're built to perform, to compete and to excite. The 748 does all of these things brilliantly. Head for the open road and you'll begin to understand what this bike is all about. Better still, head for the racetrack. That's the only place to fully appreciate the potential of this Italian thoroughbred. You'll find yourself entering corners at speeds which you've only ever dreamt about. So precise and sure-footed is the handling. You'll get massive adrenaline rushes as you twist the throttle and see the front wheel parting company with the tarmac. And if you should get your gear selection slightly wrong as you power out of a corner, the torquey nature of the V-twin allows you to get away with it. Well, it all sounds pretty impressive so far, doesn't it? Until you realise that all of this Italian style doesn't come particularly cheap. Okay, a 748 is cheaper than a 916 or a 996 as it is now. But a standard 748 like this one will still cost you about £9,700 for an official UK one. I believe you can get an import for about £8,200, so it's quite a saving there. But if you want the 748 SPS, that's the one with all the fancy suspension and the tricky bits and pieces on it, that'll cost you about another £2,500 on top of that. And when you think of its Japanese rivals, even the big twins like Honda's Firestorm, less than £7,000, Suzuki's TL1000R, perhaps £7,000 and a bit on the road, it does start to look a little bit dear. Even second-hand examples like, say, an early 748 from about 1995 in a dealer's would still fetch the best part of £6,000. But let's look on the positive side. What do you get for your money? Well, you get this fantastic, sexy-looking piece of Italian exotica. Instantly recognisable. Single-sided swinging arm, very, very trendy these days. The much copied exhaust exiting under the tailpiece, and of course the unmistakable, gorgeous Ducati shape. It's well respected by everyone, and it does its job superbly well. You've probably gathered that I personally love the 748. It's not designed for everyone. If you need a bike to take you to work and back, maybe carry a pillion, or to cover long distances, then forget it. An all-rounder this bike definitely is not. It's not a particularly easy bike to ride well. It's perhaps not quite as forgiving in the handling department as some of the big four-cylinder sports bikes. It's challenging, it's involving, and once you get to grips with it, it's one of the most exciting bikes you could ever have the pleasure to ride.
Had these problems last year, didn't you? Or rather, we're talking this year's season, the 97 season. You've got locating pegs on the frame, there and there. So all you have to do is match the two together. With a bit of luck. So that's the front end, that's the back, and the front end's drop down. So it's just a matter of locating the seat on these two lugs. A little bit fiddly, but you do get used to it, honest. It's the front end, you must keep that one firmly located there, then get the back end over. A little bit of fiddling. That's all you do. And then you know when I just did that bore and it went, I thought, oh yeah, there it is. Meanwhile, oh bollocks to me.
Comes complete with CE body armour. That's elbow, shoulder, back, he and nip. He. Oh, stop it!
And this fella who's a rep for him, Rod Brooke, I've known him for a long, long time, and he's a big chap, towers over me, makes me feel inferior. Rod, it's good to see you again. How's things?
Oh, fine, Wayne. How are you?
No, not bad at all. Tell me about the Richer suit then. It's new. I've never seen them do a one-piece before.
Yeah, it's new for Reacher for 1998. It comes complete with CE body armour. Oh, hang on.
This scooter thing, just tell me, where do you get together, you lads? Where do you all meet?
We all meet at the Alice and Arms in Coppell, other than the Liverpool lads.
That's the Lancashire.
That's the Lancashire lads, yeah. The Liverpool Scooter Club, I forgot where they meet.
And the Liverpool Scooter Club meet in Liverpool?
In Liverpool, probably, more than likely.
So Harry, tell me, where do you all get together? I mean, obviously you go for rides out on Sundays, but do you have a regular meet?
Yeah, we've got a regular meet every other Sunday at the Alice and Arms in Coppell, that's the Lancashire Lions. Right. The Liverpool lot meet.
So Harry, I mean, it's obvious that you come out for rides on a Sunday, you all get together for ride outs, but you have a regular meeting, do you? Where's that?
Yeah, the Liverpool lot meet at the Queen's, Derby Street, Liverpool.
On Two Wheels next week, our very own sidecar expert Wayne tries his hand at something very different, sidecar speedway, and some more bits that seemingly you can't get enough of, the two-wheeled cock-ups.